Hi and welcome. So we're gonna look at day 16 on Advents of Cyber on TryHackMe. So it's gonna be a late video for me, so I'm a bit tired. I see this is a room without any server or websites, anything to boot up. So I suspect that this is some information gathering, which is also highly interesting. So let's look at it. The Grinch Enterprises has decided to use the best festival company to try the ransomware service. New ransomware service. Wow. Why do you think that this is a great proving ground? Max Giddy is adamant to determine the goals and share them with the wider security community. Can you use your open source intelligence method to find out more information about the ransomware gang? So what I smell here is going to Google, visiting some GitHub repositories, maybe some fabricated websites, who knows, and give some answers to this and that. Learning objective is OSINT. Understand the implication of open source intelligence. It stands right here. Open source intelligence is basically, well, it stands here that it stands for that can be obtained from free and public sources. Offensive team commonly use OSINT to perform reconnaissance on a target, and the individual or corporation agencies and law enforcement can also leverage OSINT to gather information. So there are many things when you're talking about OSINT, or just open source information. I personally do not like this short term, because open source intelligence just tells a lot. The OSINT, it sounds like a thing, and I wouldn't say open source intelligence is a thing. It's more like a way to do something, but I guess you can call it a thing. However, it's just, well, I hope you understand what I mean with this, but let's just stick to the room for now. There's ClearNet. It refers to anything you can publicly access from your traditional web browser, including Facebook, Twitter, and so on. Then we have Darknet. The Darknet is accessed using special software and requires additional configurations. In most commonly used by privacy-minded individuals, whistleblowers, censored people, criminals, journalists, and governmental law enforcement agencies. Below are a few examples of what can be found. It is Thor, which is a browser, Freenet, I2P, IPFS, and ZeroNet. So in this task we'll be focusing on how we can leverage the ClearNet to use to our advantage to gather information on a specified target. The ClearNet is more often used due to the vast amount of public data. Alright, so we can see that there's some sort of process cycle. We get some data, information, intelligence report, decision change, and there's also this wheel, what do you call it, client, source, monitoring, selecting, finding, and then you do acquisition, indexing, whoa, I'm tired today, or this whatever, yeah, number 7 and 8 step, you gotta say that yourself. So there are many different kind of questions you can ask, such as like client, what is the question, objective, and it could be an email, for example, or monitoring what is happening with the objective. Email has been inactive. So we're gonna go down to account discovery and analysis. There are other things I suggest you read, stuff like identify real or personas. A target would often use a persona depending on initial information. We're looking for the real names and personas to find other accounts and so on. Google Dogging is another very interesting way of using Google. Dogging is, well, it's just a word, but on Google there are filtering search methods you can use to your own beneficial, search. And you can say, for example, site, and you can combine the different ones, and there are more than just these, of course, but you can combine site and only look for a file type or in URL something, and very commonly used in URL if you want to find, let's say, some special URLs you know that are vulnerable. So moving on to OSINT, the blockchain. With the introduction of Web 3.0, a decentralized web protocol set in the factory, set in its infancy, and the increased popularity of cryptocurrency, OSINT from blockchain technology and the decentralization perspective has become increasingly important. So a core principle of blockchain technology and decentralization is anonymity. How can you gather information on a target if they are anonymous? And that is very difficult, but of course there are ways. Instead of just me going through all of this, I'm gonna let you read it, and we are compiling an investigation now. So let's start with the actual investigation. You are the responding intelligence officer on the hunt for more information about the infamous Grinch Enterprises ransomware gang. As a response to the recent ransomware activity from Grinch Enterprises, your team has managed to collect a sample ransomware node. Alright. So, no answer needed. I hint, use Google Translate to start your investigation. You notice that I'm using my own browser at the moment. I'm not using my VMware. You can also see my beautiful short links. So basically, all of this looks like something from the Viking time. But let's just, take this and copy paste it. Click complete. Go to the browser to Google Translate and just, paste it in. And it says like this is Icelandic, and it says your files have been decrypted by Grinch him. We use the same state-of-art encryption. We use the same state-of-art encryption technologies. Files can be accessed from your file operated by Grinch Enterprises. Your identifier is this number. With the operator, especially for parts, it's possible to connect to Grinch Who 31 to all platforms. Alright, so what is the operator's name? Well, it would seem that we could try this one, Grinch Who 31, paste that in, and we got that correct. What social media platform is the username associated with? So we need to find a social media platform where the username is associated with Grinch Who 31. And let's just see if there's anything here. So I guess just going to Google and typing this in Grinch Who whatever, we will find... What is this? Very interesting. So, I think it's about time that we used our Google docking skills. Let's see. So, what we're gonna find is a social network. I guess it's a profile or something. But anyways, so we could say like, I want to search for this word on a site, and we can just try facebook.com, and I want to say that just out of the bat, doesn't seem that interesting. El Grinch something in Spanish, and we could of course just click it, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna stay away from Facebook, maybe just browse some images, and we kinda know. I want to point out that the Grinch on TryHackMe looks like that, you know, that's the Grinch. So I suspect that we're gonna find something like that, you know, some profile looking like that in a certain way. So let's try. Let's try Twitter. Let's see what we're gonna get on Twitter. And it doesn't look very interesting. The Grinch on Twitter. Well, let's click it. Looks like we have some search bar here. Would like to say that this doesn't really tell me much. We do have a search on Twitter, and we know from this is an Icelandic, isn't it? Looks more like Russian to me. Oh, now it sounded less gibberish. Alright, so it sounds like we have this name here. And if I take that and search for it on let's say Twitter, I get this profile, and you know, looks like yeah. It looks like maybe we found something. Let's just want to say let's try with Twitter. There we go. Twy was very twit. So yeah, it was Twitter. And so what is the cryptographic identifier associated with the operator? And we got that here. So I guess that would be the number to put in. This is our, oh no. Maybe it is the one here. It could be this one. I assume correctly. It's just looking at it, verifying myself. I am Grange 31. Yeah. I can remember some of the names on TryHackMe. Some of the people here, so it's really good to see. So what platform is the cryptographic identifier associated with? Keybase.io. So probably gonna go to that. What is the Bitcoin address of the operator? The Bitcoin address. Let's go to Keycoin. There's a Bitcoin here. So really just clicking and gathering some information. This is, what platform does the operator leak the Bitcoin address on? What platform? Keybase.io. Keybase? No? Six letters. Alright then. But I see it right here. Did I misunderstand this? What platform does the operator leak the Bitcoin address on? Let's click this. Created a Keybase account. Grinch Who, ownership, Christmas something. Also generated, added to encryption keys for Windows device. This is very small. Let me see if I can. I'm sorry you cannot see me, but because this text is very small and I cannot. Alright then. So it would seem that if I take this Bitcoin address. Let's just try and paste that into Google. No. What about Windows device? What is this? Signed payload. Interesting. Eldest signature. Basically just walking through whatever I can click on at the moment, just to get an idea of what I'm kind of looking at, because information gathering can be quite tiresome because it takes a lot of time. Of course, this is a very quick way of doing it. So we have a username, it's the old one. Let's go back to this page again. What if I click that link, Keybase, and paste in the name of our guy here, just to see if we can get something. Clue, no. So let's go look again. I feel that I missed something. Keybase, I definitely missed something. We have our GitHub link and with Twitter account and one device, which is the Windows device we already know about, the Twitter account that we already know about, and then the GitHub link. I should have seen this link. So we have, let's see, Christmas hater. Is that a question? No, so we need to GitHub. That is the answer. Yeah, why not? So what is the operator's personal mail and the operator's real name? You need to find names now and an email. So let's just have a look here. Show more activity. Let's pick this one here, the first one. Docker file. Yes. And let's see the 3sh. Okay. And the license is not that interesting, I guess. The Docker file. No. Let's let's go to the top and say the Christmas bash tree. We just looked at that. Wasn't it the flow one? Yeah, it was. Was any updates to it? Yeah, we got 4 commits. So let's look at the commits. The initial commit, verified, and this is a free. So this is the software license, something, whatever. Some other things. The code for it. And here we have it. The email address, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be our guy. We paste it in. Now we only need the answer for the name of the guy. Done the heat. Let's assume that's the name. And this concludes the video by open source intelligence. Basically what I just did was just, browsing the internet. And maybe I'm laughing a bit now, but that is because I'm really tired and I'm really happy that I did this room. This is not particularly the task that I usually enjoy, because looking at the internet just, requires some time. So if you like my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. Leave a comment below, like the video. Until next time, I'm gonna see you again. Bye.